Nigeria must be sacked out of United Nations because of the way they are operating and tolerating terrorism across Nigeria, petting terrorism, repenting terrorists.
So we've seen Dr. Ngozi come out and say what? She has said the UN must expel the Nigerian government and Tinubu from the UN. He said enough is enough, that Sam Ekpa has come to the UN and report the terrorist movement of the Nigerian government in the southeast, and still yet the government and not the UN didn't do anything as gases. But when Nigerian government came, before they rose up and started doing the needful, that is our time the Nigerian government expel the Nigeria government and Tinubu, that they've broken the UN law. What's your take as a guy?
That's what Honorable is trying to emphasize here, is that it is high time that United Nations should dismember, separate themselves from Nigerian membership. Nigeria is not going to be United Nations member anymore because that platform was initiated in 1945. Immediately the Second World War ended. It was formed in New York in 1945. The member nations are all over the world, including Nigeria. I don't know what I understand. So if a member of that United Nations member, the membership certificate has actually made you what? Answerable to United Nations. Whoever has an internal dispute or external dispute you are having, the member nation of UNO, they should come to help you. So Nigeria is a member of United Nations. United Nations has the right to actually do what? Stop Nigeria from being a member. They can sack Nigeria from the membership of United Nations for violating international law. Remember that it is against UN Charter to go to another country and extradite your national forcefully. I don't understand. Forcefully, not going through the normal documentation. So that's why Orabeze is happening often. The United Nations is only taking action against the Igbos, the Southeasterners. But when Southeasterners report about criminalities, Nigerian nation, is committing through their military forces and police in Southeastern Nigeria, United Nations is not doing anything. If United Nations has been bribed, we are going to air it on social media. The United Nations has taken bribe from Nigeria. But I'm telling you that United Nations cannot do that. That platform is for United States of America. America is in control. Forget about the fact that, yes, Secretary General is from Portugal, Antonio Guthierez. But I'm telling you that the headquarters of UNO is in New York. Formed and started in 1945. I don't know what to understand. America will never, ever be bribed up. No matter the amount of crude oil we are coming with. America is having crude oil reserve that can lead them for the next 200 years. So you can't use crude oil to bribe the United Nations. One thing I know now is that United Nations must step up their, at least, awareness created so far by this Biafran Declaration of 18 in Finland to actually start nailing Nigeria down. Nigeria must be sacked out of United Nations because of the way they are operating and tolerating terrorism across Nigeria, petting terrorism, repenting terrorists, repentant terrorists. Can a terrorist repent? They reintegrate terrorists with Nigerians. Nigerians are living with terrorists. At any time, terrorists will just rise up and start buying Christians, innocent Nigerians. It's because of the carelessness of the country called Nigeria. That is what made them to ignore the fact that a terrorist can never, ever be a repentant terrorist. They are all sadists. A sadist cannot repent. A sadist or a terrorist is an aggrieved person. Someone that is religiously aggrieved, trying to force you to believe into his own faith, abandoning your own faith. An act of terrorism is an act of cowardice because they won't come out face to face. They come under the guise of darkness and start disaliving, neutralizing people in the darkness of night. Act of terrorism is an act of arsonism. Is an act of sadism. That's why United Nations must stand up and do something now. United Nations must sack Nigeria now. Nigeria is not playing along with objectivities of United Nations. There are objectives you should at least play along with. You cannot just tell me that Nigeria is a member of United Nations while that objectives started from 1945 we are not imbibing it, we are not following it, we are not keeping it. Those objectives, Nigeria actually turns their back on objectives of United Nations organization, which is a cogent reason, more or less, United Nations should at least expel Nigeria from UNO membership. They don't want it. They allow number 4th deadliest terrorist organization in the world, Fulani headers, herdsmen, to operate freely in Nigeria, and they could not curtail or put them on check. Once actually we understand in this contraption that Nigerian government could not put on check the Fulani headers operation or modus operandi in Nigeria, it is the high time that United Nations should come in and seize the country, because they are not being able to at least stand as a nation. For you to stand as a country, there are many accolades, there are many features and attributes you should have. Failure to have those attributes, you should be what? Under United Nations control. See, let me tell you, they will declare emergency in Nigeria, and someone from either America, Canada, or United States of America should come and topple us to rock. Because this is how it started in Afghanistan. Before you know it, terrorist organization has taken over Afghanistan. Failure to do so, you will see this Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Boko Haram, Lakaruwa and Mahamuda terrorist platform taking over the government of the Federation of Nigeria. So it's the high time United Nations, do something very, very quick to stop this kind of disaster happening in Nigeria.
To recognize our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. We all watched the court proceedings yesterday in the Nigeria court, where our leader Nnamdi Kanu has been held for almost 5 years right now for nothing, for doing nothing. He's being held by the Nigeria state. All of us are already aware nothing good will come out of the Nigerian state. Because of our leader, Onyendu, we do what we do today. And because of him and our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, Biafra is a sovereign nation today. All glory goes to both of them for the role they played to ensure that Biafra is a free nation. And there are other leaders, so many of them, so many Biafrans, warriors that have played a role privately or publicly to ensure that our independence was restored on November 29th, 2024 in Lahti, Finland. Today, United States of Biafra is a free nation. We will continue to defend our land. Nobody is going to do that for us. Currently, the Nigerian state is occupying a foreign land. Even after all the notifications to the Nigerian state that the United States of Biafra has declared their independence on November 29, we declared we were a country before 1967 to 1970. We redeclared our nation November 29, 2024. That information has been passed on to the Nigerian state, headed by President Tinubu and Defense Chief Christopher Musa. We have peacefully informed them that the United States of Biafra is at this point a sovereign state. They must withdraw every Nigerian entity in the United States of Biafra territory. They must do that. There is no reason why any element of Nigerian state will still be existing in the United States of Biafra territory at this point. Because we've met all the criteria for an independent nation. We are an independent nation. We conducted a self-referendum where over 50 million Biafrans have voted to exit Nigeria, both online and physically in the 40 states of the United States of Biafra. We have a mapped out geographical area with ethnic and cultural orientation that are peculiar to our people. We are building our allies, both those that recognized Biafra as a nation between 1967 and 1960 and never resigned on that. They are our allies. All of them have been informed of the redeclaration of the United States of Biafra, and they are fully in support of this new beautiful nation of ours. I want to use this opportunity to thank Onyendu and let him be resilient. Do not be moved. Do not be moved. What the Nigerian terrorist state do to you, they can do to any of us. Do not be moved. They have no case against Nnamdi Kanu. They have no case against Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu. To start with, the Nigerian state colluded with Kenya and renditioned a British citizen, Nnamdi Kanu, from Kenya and dumped him in Nigeria, blindfolded him, beat him up, moved him into Nigeria. That is a terrorist act. And Nigeria is trying to try Nnamdi Kanu for terrorism, inciting the people. How can a terrorist state try our Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu of terrorism? Why? We are the one that kidnapped him from Kenya, renditioned him to Nigeria. What terrorist act is bigger than that? So, as of today, Nigeria has no local standing to try Nnamdi Kanu for anything because they kidnapped him from Kenya. That is an act of terrorism. It is a law, not just by Nigeria, by all international standards. Nigeria does not stand, does not have the power to try Nnamdi Kanu. So they've broken all international laws. Nigeria does not respect any international law of which they signed. They signed to be part of. All these charters, Nigeria put their signature here, but they've broken those laws. Nigeria should be expelled from all United Nations, African Union, ECOWAS unions, because they do not respect the treaties they signed with these bodies. About three courts in Nigeria have tried the case between Nnamdi Kanu and the Nigerian state. And Nnamdi Kanu won in those three courts. And the courts have told the Nigerian state to release Nnamdi Kanu and compensate him. Till today, Nigeria has not done that. They are still holding him because they do not want the United States of Biafra to be a free nation. Thank God, today we are a free nation. The United Nations set up a committee to look into the case of Nnamdi Kanu and the Nigerian state after Nigeria moved Nnamdi Kanu to Kenya, to move Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to Nigeria. The United Nations Committee on Extraordinary Rendition told Nigeria to release Nnamdi Kanu and compensate him. United Nations, did Nigeria do that? No, because Nigeria is a lawless state that does not respect. They do not respect the rule of law. They do not respect the treaties they signed with the United Nations. United Nations, I'm calling on you to expel Nigeria from being a member of the United Nations because they have flouted this order that you gave to them to release Nnamdi Kanu and compensate him. Nigeria has refused to do that. So United Nations, I'm asking you today, what action have you taken against the Nigerian state to ensure that we, the new nation, like United States of Biafra, we have confidence in you. We can obey the rules that you set up. So we are waiting for you to take that action against the Nigerian state, for you to earn your integrity in the world, for other countries in the world to trust you, for other countries in the world to look up to you as a nation that not just bark, but bites. We are waiting for you to do that. Because Nigeria have refused your recommendations and your order for them to release Nnamdi Kanu. They are trying him today. Yesterday, Friday, he was in Nigerian court, despite the order from you, the United Nations. You need to call Tinubu and Christopher Musa to order as quickly as possible for the world to continue to respect you, United Nations. I also want to use this opportunity to recognize our Prime Minister, His Excellency, Vietnam Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, who is still being questioned by Finland as we speak for almost 5 months, restricted by Finland as we speak, because Finland colluded with Nigeria to start questioning our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, for incitement, terrorism, whatever they call it, that the Nigeria bribery state, the Nigerian terrorist state, reported to Finland. And then Finland, our Prime Minister reported the abuses, the human rights abuses of the Nigerian state to you, Finland. So Finland, you are going to meet Biafrans in the European Union Human Rights Court, because those human rights abuses reported to you by our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, you, Finland, you're supposed to report it to the European Union Human Rights Commission. Did you do that? Finland, did you do that? Did you make that report? All the abuses, all the killings, all the extraordinary removal, all the forceful removal of innocent Biafrans from their homes, from their communities, and they end up being dead, harvesting their organ. Simon Ekpa reported that to you, Finland. What did you do? What did you do with those information? Did you keep it to yourselves? Did you hide it? Then when the Nigeria state, Christopher Musa, came to report to you that Simon Ekpa is a terrorist, you jumped you clamped him down. You took him away and you are questioning him in seclusion for almost 5 months in deplorable conditions. You isolated him. So where is the justice in the world? Finland. You did not report those human rights abuses, and you signed a charter, you signed a treaty to make the world a better place, to report those human rights abuses. The ones that Simon Ekpa reported to you, Finland, why didn't you report it to the European Union Human Rights Commission? You will answer to that. So we thank you, our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, for being resolute. Stand your ground. Nothing will happen. United States of Biafra is already here. And at the right time, we will take the right steps to ensure that Finland have no other choice. They can't have a choice than to let you go immediately. And it's coming to that point. The same thing with Nnamdi Kanu. It will happen. Because some of you, the language you understand is force. The charters most of you signed to make the world a better place, you are abusing them. And we will stop you from abusing them. Finland and Nigeria and Kenya. Any country at all that tries to make the world a terrorist state like Nigeria. I thank all the cabinet members present here, all the secretaries that are working round the clock behind the scene to ensure that the United States of Biafra protect their land and start serving our people in our homeland as quickly as possible.
Okay, but she also said that it's that time the Nigeria court released Nnamdi Kanu. She said, Dr. Ngozi said, the court has declared Nnamdi Kanu free, even asking Tinubu and the Nigeria government to pay Nnamdi Kanu compensation, but they are not still there. They are still holding him illegally.
Illegal, you know, holding Nnamdi Kanu illegal amounted to court contempt because court has, you know, awarded financial incentives in billions of naira for Nnamdi Kanu. Did the Nigerian government do it? No. That's why United Nations should come. It is the right time they should leave Nnamdi Kanu. Failure to leave him, it has amounted to illegality of the highest order. It is a lacuna of law to hold someone court has freed. A lacuna of law. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. So the time has come for United Nations to ex Nigeria. They should ex Nigeria, subject Nigeria to serious sanction. That is how Nnamdi Kanu should be at least released, because as Tinubu is now, he's enjoying his Nigerian money with his Fulani masters. They don't care. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu could die in jail there. It doesn't concern them. So that's why the United Nations should do something very, very hasty.
Okay,
they should hasten up to do something that will make Mazi Nnamdi Kanu go scot-free.
Okay, and lastly, she said, you know, it's our time that Biafra is now a sovereign state, and it's our time she does not send his boys leave the southeast, and what, and that she's ready to make sure that if they don't do the needful, they'll be ready to see, you know, another side of the Biafrans, that are ready to wipe them out, just what the Boko Haram did in Yobe, by wiping them out. That at the same time that the Nigerian military is no longer, their service is no longer dead there in Igbo land.
Yeah, the Nigerian military, if you ask me, they were not Nigerian military we've known in the past, during the time of Babangida, during the time of Abacha. They work cohesively as a nation, the armed forces of a nation. But today, we've seen a Nigerian military that is divided among themselves as a result of ethnic and religious bigotry. You have Fulani soldier, you have Igbo soldier. You have Fulani soldier in the north, you have Christian soldier in the south. Two of them are not working cohesively. The Fulani soldiers are against Christian soldiers in the same Nigerian military. So no unity. I'm telling you, no unity among them now. If they are going to any trouble spot in the north for military operation, the Fulani soldiers will be shooting their Christian counterparts at the back, giving out most of the classified information to the Boko Haram, Kule, ambush, and they spy the whole Nigerian military. I'm telling you, in the forest, Sambisa forest, they use Sambisa forest as a bait to do what? Betray their Christian counterparts. Yes, there are many proofs. There are many proofs on social media, many proofs in Nigeria. See, they are killing Christian soldiers in their large number. United Nations should come in. Failure to do this, Boko Haram, they will grow in size. Nigeria is having one of the largest Muslim numbers in Africa. And you know that Nigeria is a hungry country now. If they allow this, if United Nations should not do something, failure to do something in, you know, quickly, they are going to confuse Nigerian youths in their large number in the north. They will use food, convince them. You will have this largest number of terrorists in the north because those youths are very poor, hungry. They can use food and money, lure them into enrollment, you know, into terrorist platform all across northern region. Look at Mahamuda. Mahamuda has come. Look at Lakarawa. Lakarawa has come. Look at Boko Haram, bandits, headers, you know. I don't know what you're talking about. Even Ansaru, many terrorist organizations. If United Nations is not doing something, you know, quickly like that, fast enough, I think they will regret, because this part of the world will be occupied by terrorists. And terrorists, they are conscienceless. They don't have conscience. They don't have respect for human life. So that's why United Nations should come up now and do something in Nigeria, so that these Fulani headers, Fulani killers, terrorists will not invade everywhere in this country.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.